Hi, and welcome to a new video. Today is going to be more of a storytime video. I kind of had this idea for a while, and it kind of just, made me really want to share this out in the world, because for some reason, I have so little social interaction with people that when I do, it makes me kind of happy. And I'm not talking about people that I know, people that I'm friends with. I'm talking about strangers, people that I don't know. I'm not an extrovert. I'm really introverted, or I'm more introverted than anything. I like staying at home. I like being a person at home. But at the same time, I like going out. I like meeting new people. It's a love-hate kind of relationship with social interaction. My mom finds it annoying that my sister and I are so scared of people. We're so scared talk to people, which looks weird, I know, because this doesn't look like a person who's scared of people. And here's the cat. He was right about to chew up my fucking phone. Yeah, like, get down from there, please. No, family. No, can't let you play with it. Oh my god. I think I need to get you out. You know what? Get the fuck up. Get out. Get out. Get out. Today is going to be a story time kind of video. It's like 6 stories in one video. I am almost always on the go. The reason why is because I stay at 3 different places, but now it's more 2. At the beginning of last year, I lived with my sister and I was looking for a job and everything, but then I met my boyfriend through Tinder, which is kind of, yeah, it's probably nothing to be proud of, but I met him on Tinder. Then I started to travel a lot to his place, and then I would come here at my parents', so life hasn't really happened for me yet, because there's already a lot of things going on. Sometimes I watch my dad because he's... What I'm saying is, I have taken the bus so many times that I need to show you. I even list down every time I travel. Take a look. Yeah, people commute every day, to work, to school, but I go to a long distance. It's like 100 miles? Almost. So it's a lot. I got to a point where I started to have breakdowns because it was too much, I was traveling too much. When you get too much of something, you get tired, you want to take a break or something. And I got to that point. I started to, I remember once I was in the bus, I was crying because I was so fucking tired. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to sit down. I want to take a break. I want to relax. I don't want to see another bus for 5 fucking years. I'm just gonna go off. I'm just gonna fucking stop it here. It did not stop. Because usually I take the bus every 2 or 3 days. It'd be fine if it was maybe just a 30-minute ride to the city or something, but I take the bus for almost 2 hours straight, and that gets to you. Okay, so let's start with the least interesting and then work up to the most interesting ones. I was seated on the very last row of the bus one day because, I just really want to test it, let's just sit on the last row of the bus, see what happens. So there were 2, I don't know, they're Spanish or they sit a few rows ahead, they just sit there, they just talk and everything, and I'm just minding my own business because that's what I'm good at. One of them went off the bus, and the one who was still in the bus, he moved to the last row, so we are technically sitting beside each other. And he asks me, does this bus go directly to Ålesund? I'm like, no, it doesn't. It stops in a certain mall, which is called Moa, and you need to take another bus from there. And it was like, okay, thank you. And even though it's really that little, but it made me feel like, I know, bitch, I got information for days. It just really felt really good. He asked me if the bus was going directly to... do you really live that approachable? We have a tendency to sit and then put our bag to the next seat so that no one will sit there. One day, the bus is really full. An old lady comes up and she's looking around for a place to sit, and I just take my bag and put it on the floor in front of me, and I say, hey, you can sit here. And she was like, oh, you're so nice. And she sat down and she was talking about how everyone was not like that. You know, they didn't want to share their seat. And then when we arrived, she was like, thank you so much. You're such a nice person. I will never forget this, blah, 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 blah. And I feel good. Because I know what it's like to go into a full bus. That's like a fucking pain in the ass. I fucking hate it. It makes me really anxious, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Sometimes you just make an eye contact with the person and ask, can I sit here? And they're like, yeah, that's not a problem. And I like people like that, but there are people that just take their bag and just look at you and then put it in front of you, and they look pissed, like, really? It's a public bus, what the fuck are you expecting? I once saw a couple making out. I don't really care, you know, if people make out in front of me or they kiss or whatever, you know. Even I kiss my boyfriend in public sometimes. I like sitting at the back portion of the bus, not like the last row or anything, but you know, the back portion of the bus. I was seated there, and you know, when it's like evening, it's dark outside, they tend to dim the lights. I don't remember why, but I was looking to my right. I think I was taking something from my bag or something, and then I accidentally look at them going deep into each other's mouths. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna look, because it kind of makes me uncomfortable. I gotta be honest about it. Even though you can do whatever you want, it kind of makes me uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna mind my own business, and I was watching Stranger Things. So I just kept looking at my phone, you know, even though my neck was aching just because I was like steady, I wasn't moving. I was like, fuck that shit. Let them do what they want, just don't let me witness it. Okay, so that was the couple making out. This next one is what I find real weird because it has happened 2 or 3 times. That's probably not a lot, but it's weird because they're all girls. They're all girls. Sometimes when I'm on the bus, you know, I'm seated, and sometimes I just like to look at the people there, not because I want to like judge them or anything, you know, just, you know, like see, oh, okay, there's a woman sitting there, there's a man who's... I was looking to my left, and that woman was like smiling at me. She was like, I was smiling back, and I'm like, okay, that's just friendly dust. It doesn't have to mean anything. There's another instance. I was on the bus with a girl who pretty much looked like Lord. She had the really curly hair. We took the same bus, we got off the same place, and I was sitting in front of the bus terminal to wait for the next bus. And she walks out, and she smiles at me. She smiles at me. I'm like, okay, I just smiled back, I guess, because it's weird. And then there was another girl who smiled at me as well, like, do I have this lesbian kind of magnet or something? Like, I don't know. I want to believe that because these girls are smiling at me. I'm like, no. Which kind of makes me sad because, you know, I'm straight. I don't want to say that I'm straight because being gay is wrong. No, I support gays. My best friend is gay. So, I mean, if you're gay, be gay! I like it that girls smile at me like, hey, you look fine. But come on, make a guy smile at me too, like, please. It doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, he smiled at me, I'm gonna get his number, I'm gonna get... But no man has ever smiled at me like that, so, that's kind of sad. Okay, so the next one is actually hilarious. I think it's hilarious. So this is a bus driver. You know, it was real fun because I was going to my boyfriend's for his birthday. So I step into the bus and he asks me where I'm going. And I tell him I'm going to this place, you know, to where my boyfriend lives. And he smiles at me and says, yeah, it looks like there's enough place for you. And I look inside the bus and there's only one person sitting there. And I'm like, yeah, it looks like there's enough place for me. There's always a ferry. You know, no matter where I go, there's always one ferry. So he walks up and down the aisle, he checks the seats, maybe looking for trash or things that are left behind or anything, and then he decides to sit on the opposite row beside me. But then he starts talking to me, actually starts talking to me, like talking to me, and it's like, oh, so where are you going? Are you heading home? And I'm like, no, I'm going to visit my boyfriend because he has his birthday. He looks at me like, oh, okay, so you have a boyfriend, that's nice. And then he asks me when my birthday is, and I say March 22nd, and then he asks me a bunch of other questions, like, where are you from? You don't look that Norwegian. He starts talking about it should be more industrial and that there should be more, you know, work, and that he hates shopping. I just nod, I just laugh along, you know, just things like that. Then when I get off the bus, my boyfriend wasn't there. He tends to be a little late at times, which is completely fine, you know, I don't care. Then the bus driver gets off the bus and then proceeds to talk to me a little bit more. Like, so yeah, I see your boyfriend isn't here yet. And I'm like, yeah, he's on his way. And then he tells me to have a good weekend and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, you too. And then he said, do tell your boyfriend he is lucky. I was like, what? What? You did not say that! He just said that, you know, tell your boyfriend he's lucky. Thank you, yeah, I will definitely tell him that. And I did tell him that. You should have seen my boyfriend's face. It was like, he said that? I'm like, yeah. He was surprised, and I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, like, he was not lucky to have this. So, that was the mustache bus driver, because he had like a mustache. He was fabulous. So this one is a little bit crazy. This is like, in summer, there tend to be a lot of tourists. Not just here, it's probably everywhere. You know, tourists are everywhere in summer. So I take the bus from my sister's place, going to my parents' place. And that was when, as I mentioned earlier, I had a breakdown in a bus. I was so fed up with going back and forth. It was kind of like a bad situation, you know. My dad got sick, and you know, I was just caught up in the moment. I was seated there, and then I received a message telling me that I should do this and I should do that, and then I was like really fucking tired. Like, I was taking the bus so many times by this time that I had become so tired. So I funnily enough, I started to cry inside the bus, but I wasn't like crying hysterically. I wasn't like, oh my god, I hate my life, because, you know, I don't want attention. The good thing though, I was seated closest to the windows. I was seated alone, and then we stopped at a certain bus stop. A bunch of tourists come in, and then there's this he looked like an old Greek man, you know, and he sat beside me. He was smiling. He was like, can I sit here? And I'm like, yeah, just take the seat, whatever, do what you need to do, you know. And he sat there, and he was really, you know, smiling. He was like that, you know. He was old. It was like maybe 60s or 70s, and he looked really happy and everything. I don't want the man next to me to notice that I was upset and everything, so I took down my hair like that. I kept crying, like it was fucking pathetic. Like, who the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sitting, you know, like legs straight down, and he has his hand like this on his leg. My leg is touching his hand, and then it starts moving it really weirdly, you know, mildly stroking my leg. And really? I was like really fucking upset about personal things, and there he is touching my leg like that. I was so upset that I didn't care. And I'm like, whatever, do what the fuck you want, I don't care. At that point, I had given up. So after a while, I, you know, get back to my senses. I don't get so upset anymore, so I like remove my leg, you know, I keep them together because I don't want him to think that I was enjoying that. I wasn't enjoying that, I just didn't fucking give a shit. Then, he stops. I think he notices that I think it was a little too much. Like, it probably sounds stupid, it probably doesn't even sound like it's real, but it was. You know, now that I think about it now, I'm not really I'm not traumatized or anything, but it just was really fucking weird, you know. Okay, so the last one goes to this, which I call the Camo King. I was at the hospital. I was visiting my dad, and so I took the bus from the hospital. I think I was going to my boyfriend's place yet again. I decided to sit at the back portion of the bus, and upon going in, I see no one at the back. Like, I see nobody. There's no one. But, you know, I'm not really the person who likes sitting at the last row. The absolutely last row. So I would sit like in the third from the last row or something. As I put my bag down, I hear somebody say hi. And I don't understand because I thought there was no one there. And so as I was sitting down, I look at the back and there's a man there. A black man. And he says, hi. And I respond, of course. I say, hi. I think he asked me, like, are you a student? And I'm like, no, I'm not a student. And he's like, oh, okay, so do you live here? And I was like, no, I was just visiting my dad. And he was like, ah, nice. He just said that like he was like fucking high. I'm pretty sure he was high. Because it looked like it. Next destination, he stands up and he walks past me, which enables me to see him whole. And he's wearing camouflage everything. He's wearing a camouflage shirt and a jacket. He's wearing camouflage pants. And he has a fucking camouflage backpack. So everything he was wearing was camouflage. It's no surprise at all that I did not see him when I came in. Not a fucking surprise. And he has like long hair, but all of it was braided into small braids. Like, wow. Do you want to know what is the most hilarious thing about what he wore? He wore a plastic crown. You know those crowns they sell in toy stores? He wore a fucking plastic crown. And I was like, wow. I aspire to be like him. You know, just, I don't give a rat's ass about anything. I want to be wearing a fucking plastic crown inside the bus. You know, I'll be the king of the bus. Like, haha, that's fucking nice. I want to be like that. That's not the last of it. You know, I remember I was sitting at the bus terminal. Then I see two guys biking. First was a Norwegian guy, I would guess. You know, he was white. And then the next person was him again. I was like, what? So he bikes in front of me and he's like, hi. Still looked fucking high. So, yes, that's about it. That was, I don't know if that was a good idea, but you know, any video is a good idea anyway. Just like talking about shit. So I hope you enjoyed my story time where I had, you know, interactions and, you know, different experiences in the bus. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And don't do what I would do. But if you do, have fun.